Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I don't know how the audio is. Maybe I should check that. Yeah, it should be okay. It should be coming from this. It's not. Oops, crap. Yeah. So it's been a while since I made a video update. So I just wanted to thank you guys for your patience and for your messages. People have been sending me as I've been away, and I should just disable this autofocus. That's terrible. Um, I just wanted to give a little update because time truly does fly, and I realized that I haven't made a video in a while, so I needed to make one. So, what's new? Well, right now I'm having a bit of a break on actual fluency, a bit of a spring break, as you know from the podcast. After every season, I take some time off to, well, recharge and find new guests, record new episodes, and get ready for the next season. So I don't burn out completely. And burning out is something that's something I would like to talk to you today about, because what I've realized is that I've been doing too many things. And it's not been because of a lack of concrete hours to do it or concrete time. But the problem is I've simply been doing too many things. I've been filling my mind up with too much stuff. And that means that I haven't been doing the things that are actually important. And the things that I have been doing have been less than good. For instance, on actual fluency, I've been experimenting with all kinds of things in the last year or so, like videos, weekly blogs. I've been trying to do a lot of things, and I realized recently, after taking this little break, I realized that I haven't actually done much language learning in the last year or so. And honestly, if I'm struggling to do language learning because I'm doing a lot of stuff about language learning, it doesn't really make any sense for me. I'm not doing actual fluency exclusively to talk about languages. I want to be about languages too, and I really feel like my languages have suffered because of the workload that I've been under. And it's also kind of stupid to do a lot of things poorly instead of a few things well. So I guess the conclusion that I've reached is that I don't want to be doing stuff that's mediocre on actual fluency. I want it to be good, and I always thought that the podcast was a good product. I always liked the discussions, the quality, and the questions that I came up with for each guest. I always liked the podcast. I always thought the podcast was the main part. And in fact, some people come up to me and they say, I really love your podcast, but they don't know there's a blog behind it. So I think other people agree with me that the podcast is probably my flagship product and my flagship offering. And I think the mistake I made early on was to assume that actual fluency was this kind of conglomerate, like I don't know, CNN, where you had the radio channel, you had the TV channel, you had the website, you had the blogs, you had the who knows what. And ultimately, you just end up burning out because you're spreading yourself so thinly. And I mean, if you look at this YouTube channel, honestly, most of my videos are crap. Most of my videos are like this, just a talking head video. And I don't mind doing vlog style videos where I update you guys on what's been going on. But I think if you want to be serious about YouTube and language learning, I think you should definitely do a little bit of editing, maybe have some kind of idea what you're going to say, and not just rant all the time like I do. So videos is one of those things that I'll definitely be shelving for now, unless I can come up with a good concept where I can put in a lot of work, put in a lot of effort into producing some really good videos. I'm still going to be doing the podcast, and I've recorded some episodes for the next season already, and I have a lot of episodes planned. And a new thing I'm doing this season, and instead of me choosing all the guests, which sort of works, it also sort of limits me to the people that I'm aware of. And even though I know a lot of people and a lot of language learners, I don't know all of them. So if you have an interesting language learning story, if you've learned a lot of languages, if you've learned them in an interesting way, or whatever interesting story you have that you think might motivate or inspire other learners, feel free to apply to become a guest on the show, actualfluency.com/guest. I'd love to talk to you. And while it is called an application, I can't imagine rejecting anyone. It's just in case, who knows what kind of applications I'm going to get. But anyway, so that's been going on. And obviously there's a lot of traveling coming up as well. Berlin in a few weeks' time. I have a presentation there, and it's a really big presentation. I want it to be really good, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time on that. I have my book that I'm coming out with soon. I'm going to offer some pre-order benefits for you guys out there. So if you want to pre-order it, you can get a huge discount and some other exclusive bonuses. I'm going to show that very soon. And then there's the conference in Canada that I also have a really important presentation at, where for the first time I'm going to be talking publicly about depression and language learning, which is a huge topic that I need to be doing a lot of research for. I want to dig into some academic research to look into depression in general, so I can sort of compare the science to my anecdotal findings. And so I think after all this is said and done, after this break, Actual Fluency is going to probably convert into more or less a podcast. It's always been a podcast, obviously, but I want to turn the blog into sort of an extra side of an extra side of the site, instead of being a real prominent part of it. Because the thing about having a blog section is that you often get compelled to force yourself to, let's say, I'm going to do an article a week. And that's probably not too terrible. It's just, for me, I have a full-time job, I have to learn my own languages, have to do all these things, and mentally it's just hard for me to do all these things at once. So for the blog, that's going to be kind of a subdued section, but once in a while I'm going to have this amazing topic that I really want to go all in on, and I'm going to write a really good article. And speaking of the blog section, I've posted about 100 articles in the past. Many of them have been sort of updates, like this one, but in text form. So I'm not going to do anything about those. They are there sort of as a historical log as what I've gone through. But all these articles that are sort of thematic or have some kind of useful evergreen topic, I'm going to go back, and this fucking screensaver. Why is it screensaving when you're recording on a webcam? That's so stupid. But anyway, I'm going to go back and edit all these posts, and I'm going to delete some that I really don't like, because honestly, I've been doing this blogging thing for over 2 years, and when I started out I was absolutely terrible, as you usually are when you start out with something. But I want Actual Fluency to be amazing content. I don't want it to be a lot of mediocre content. I want it to be infrequent but awesome content. And then I want to increase the offering. I want to increase the audience as well. This is sort of from a personal standpoint. I want more people reading or listening to the podcast. I really want to grow that. So I'm going to be working on growth. And I'm going to be going back to all these posts that I published, improve those that can be improved, delete those that can't, and then, write the ones that I think can make a difference. Because I've always had this idea that, I can whip out a blog post in an hour, 2 hours, whatever, and it'll be fine. And people usually commented saying, this is good, I like this post. But there was never this, oh my God, this is amazing content, And maybe I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to deliver this, but I'd rather take 4 weeks or longer to produce an awesome piece of content than to spit out 4 pieces of these average mediocre articles every month. So that's kind of what I've been learning the last few weeks. And regarding my own personal language learning, finally I have an update. So Hungarian is the main focus now. I spoke a little bit of Russian recently. I was interviewed, a small interview in Russian, and I guess I surprised my interviewer with my level of Russian, so that's a good sign. And I started reading the Asimil Russian, and my plan for Asimil is a little bit, I don't know if it's different or whatever, but I'm going to read through it one time, and then I'm going to go back and do the Asimil method, which is in every Asimil book. You have this reading phase, you have this listening phase, you have this blah blah phase, and I'm going to try and go through the whole thing very systematically, and obviously get back into some kind of vocabulary study. I think I'll use Memrise. The alternative would be Go listing, which I'm doing right now for Hungarian, and I'm trying to do 50 words a day right now. And they say that you have a 30% hit rate. So with that said, that's not too bad. That's about, was that 15 words a day or so that you can remember in the long-term memory. And for Hungarian, that'll be very good. And coming back to this time is flying, honestly, I've almost been in Hungary for a year and I still don't speak it very well, if any. you know, so I've kind of panicked again. But this is typical me. I'm very bad at organizing and spreading out my efforts. I'd rather wait until the last minute than go crazy. But with my, I think, discovered passion for Budapest and Hungary in general, I think that I'm gonna put a lot of effort into it now, and hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate some of these language skills in Berlin in a few weeks. That'll definitely be my plan. So if I do, let's say, how many days do I have? Let's just check it. I'll set you guys a little goal here. What's that? 3 weeks. 1, 2. It's about 3 weeks. Oh, sorry. No, it's not 3 weeks. Not at all, actually. Oh my God, time really does fly. So we're talking 1, 2, 2 weeks actually. Holy crap, that's soon. Okay, so 2 weeks, or let's call it 14 days, times 50 words. That's 700 words. That's pretty good. That'll bring me up to about 1,000. And if the long-term memory serves right, I'll be able to remember about 300 of them. Although I won't be doing much of the distillation though. But I do believe the goal listing works. I'll be making another video on that soon. But yeah, I hope to have a functional Hungarian for the gathering. And functional is a very sort of broad term, but for me, just if I'm able to have a few conversations and, you know, introduce myself and talk about how difficult Hungarian is, I think that's definitely a win. I mean, it's a really hard language for many reasons, but I'm just guilty of not having studied much because of all this pressure that's been put on me. And now I'm finally beginning to realize that it's the quality that matters. You know, if you like the stuff that I do, you probably agree with me that it's better to have lesser content but better. And I need to stop making excuses and keep working hard at it. So hopefully one day I can make this my full time. But we'll see. I mean, it's a tough business with lots of great people who are providing amazing advice, and I'm not even that accomplished in terms of language learning. So anyway, thank you for watching yet another rant by yours truly. I hope that you're having a great time learning new languages or whatever you're doing around the world. So to see you in the next video. I hope to bring you one a little bit sooner this time. Or if nothing else, I'm going to bring you lots of exciting content from Polyglot Gathering Berlin. I'm going to be producing some content with my friend Christopher Huff, aka The Chuff. So you can check his content out as well. So until next time,